Act 1. The Birth of the Cosmos. The cosmos unfolds its majestic existence with the appearance of the six primordial deities, Chaos, Gaia, Tartaros, Eros, Erebos, and Nyax. In a truly divine dance of origin, Gaia, through the love of Eros without any copulation and sleep, gives birth to Uranus, the sky, the sublime Rhea, the majestic mountains, and Pontos, the endless sea. Nyax and Erebos unite to produce Aether, the airy sphere, and Hemera, the radiant day. From the divine union of Gaia and Uranus arise the mighty Titans, the mighty Cyclopes, and the terrible Hecatoncheires. But Uranus, in order to maintain his power, banishes his children to the depths of the earth and prevents Gaia from being born. This injustice ignites the anger of Gaia, and she hatches a plan to overthrow Kronos, one of her Titan sons. On her advice, Kronos emasculates his father with a sharp sickle and throws the dishonored member into the foaming waters of the sea. So Kronos becomes the ruler of the second generation of gods. From the blood that drips from Uranus' mutilated member onto Gaia rise the fearsome giants, the avenging Erinyes and the graceful Melian nymphs. And from the seed of the member thrown into the depths of the Pontus arises the enchanting Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty. The epic tale now leads to the descendants of Nyax, the children of Pontos and the offspring of the Titans Oceanus and Tethys, the Oceanids and the rushing rivers. The genealogy continues to unfold with the descendants of the Titans Thea and Hyperion, the Titan Cryos with the daughter of Pontus Eurbia, and the Titans Phoebe and Koios. Finally, the descendants of Kronos and Rhea are listed: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, and the mighty Zeus. Act 2. The Prophecy and the Cunning of Rhea. Uranus, heaven itself and ruler of the cosmos, incurred the wrath of his wife Gaia, the goddess and personification of the earth. Their children, the Hecatoncheires and the Cyclopes, were pushed back by Uranus into Tartarus, the deepest abyss in Gaia's body. The earth shook with pain and Gaia vowed revenge. In an act of rebellion, Gaia created a massive sickle and called forth the Titans, 6 sons and 6 daughters, whom she once fathered with Uranus. Kronos, the youngest of the Titans, agreed to overthrow his father. Armed with the sickle, he lay in wait. When Uranus united with Gaia, Kronos attacked, and with a single cut he severed the sky god's genitals. The blood or seed of Uranus fell to the earth and gave birth to the giants, Erinyes and Meliads. Kronos ascended the throne of Uranus and imprisoned the Hecatoncheires, Cyclops, and newborn giants in Tartarus. Uranus's cries of pain echoed throughout the cosmos as Kronos, his own son, rose up against him. The kingdom of heaven trembled before the fall of its former ruler. The blood of the violated Uranus that dripped to the earth gave birth to terrible creatures, giants, Erinyes, and Meliads, who spread their dark presence across the land. Kronos, now on the throne of heaven, not only imprisoned the Hecatoncheires, the Cyclopes, and the newborn giants in Tartarus, but also the darkness in his own heart. An air of disaster hung over Olympus as the Titans wielded their power. But Gaia, the mother of all, could not forget the pain that Uranus had inflicted on her. In her anger, Gaia prophesied to Kronos that his own fate would be similar to his father's. The vengeance of heaven would rain down on him at the hands of his own children. But Kronos, blinded by fear and lust for power, laughed at the earth goddess's words. The Titans ruled with an iron hand while Gaia plotted in secret. The time would come when the Titans would have to pay for their actions, and Gaia trusted that their descendants would follow the path of justice. In the shadow of the Titans' rule, Gaia forged a new alliance. The Titans, once united against Uranus, began to distrust each other. Koios, Cryos, Hyperion, Iapetos, Atlas, and Menoetios had their own ambitions, and the neutrals Okeanos, Thea, Rhea, Themis, Mnemosyne, Phoebe, and Tethys kept their secrets. The stage was set for the fateful drama that pitted the gods of Olympus against the Titans. a massive conflict that would shake the boundaries between heaven and Tartarus. While the Titans ruled the skies and permeated the universe with their dark power, Gaia hatched a desperate plan. Kronos, who had devoured his wife Rhea's siblings to avoid the prophesied rebellion, was a ruler of cruel nature. But Rhea, the wise sister and wife, hid her sadness and thought about the fate of her newborn son Zeus. When the time came to give birth to Zeus, Rhea devised a ruse. She presented Kronos not with her own flesh and blood, but with a stone wrapped in swaddling clothes. Kronos, blinded by lust for power, devoured the supposed heir, unaware that Rhea had brought the true descendant to safety. The caves of the Dictys Mountains in Crete became the hiding place for the young Zeus. Here, far from divine intrigue, he grew up under the protection of the goat Amalthea and the Quirites. His true origins remained hidden from Kronos, who continued to maintain the Titan reign in the belief in his safety. The young Zeus was instructed in the arts of warfare by the Quirites and nurtured by Amalthea. Meanwhile, a desire for justice for the sins of his father and his uncles, the Titans, simmered in his heart. Act 3: The War of the Gods. As the day of reckoning approached, Zeus, now grown and endowed with a powerful magic potion by the goddess Métis, sneaked into Kronos' palace. The stone, the swallowed siblings, and the unrelieved screams of the Titanomachy Zeus forced Kronos to choke them all out. The earth shook from the force of the liberated beings, and the heavens seemed to open up. The throne of Uranus, once overthrown by Kronos, was now to be ascended by Zeus. But Gaia warned her grandson of the shadows of prophecy that hung over his rule. The thunderbolt, symbol of emerging power, was now supposed to place the threads of fate in the hands of the gods of Olympus. Freed from the entrails of Kronos, the siblings Zeus, Hades, Poseidon, and the goddesses Hestia, Demeter, and Hera gathered together to stand together against the Titans. The war between the Olympians and the Titans unleashed a massive battle that shook the foundations of the universe. Zeus, carrying the wrath of heaven in his hands, slew the monster camp, who guarded Tartarus. The Hecatoncheir, once banished into darkness by Kronos, were freed and entered the fight alongside the Olympians. They hurled huge stones at the Titans, while the Cyclops helped the young Zeus create his most powerful ally, the Thunderbolt. The Cyclops forged not only Zeus's massive thunderbolt, but also Poseidon's trident and a helmet that gave Hades invisibility. The weapons of the gods were forged, and the heavens trembled with the impending battle that would decide the fate of the world. Years of war took place, a decade of tireless battles between the Olympians and the Titans. But ultimately the power of the Olympians proved to be superior. The Titans Koios, Cryos, Hyperion, Iapetos, Atlas, and Menoetios were defeated, their once proud thrones destroyed. After the battle, the brothers Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades shared control of the universe. Zeus ascended to the throne of heaven, Poseidon ruled the sea, and Hades became ruler of the dark underworld. The Titans were imprisoned in Tartarus, guarded by the Hecatoncheirs, who were once their tormentors. Neutral Titans like Mnemosyne and Prometheus retained their position. But there was a special punishment for Atlas and Kronos. Zeus, willing to preserve the balance of the world, condemned Atlas to carry the sky for all eternity, while Kronos, the former ruler of the cosmos, was destroyed by Zeus with his thunderbolt. The world now obeyed the Olympians' orders. Zeus and his gods were able to defend their dominance not only against the Titans, but also against the later attack of the giants that the earth goddess Gaia had conjured up. Since then, Zeus reigned as the undisputed ruler of heaven, and the gods of Olympus controlled the fate of the world according to their will. So the epic battle ended, and Olympus triumphed over the ancient powers that once ruled the cosmos. The era of the Olympians had begun, and the gods ruled the sky, the sea, and the underworld with an iron hand. Under the leadership of Zeus, the world was forced into divine order, and the Hecatoncheirs watched over the captured Titans and Tartarus. But the universe, ruled by divine power, was not free of shadows. The prophecy once spoken by Gaia still echoed in the halls of Olympus. Zeus, entrenched in his rule, viewed his own children with suspicion. The wheel of fate turned relentlessly, and the earth goddess's warnings were not forgotten. The gods of Olympus, while ruling over mortals, discovered their own weaknesses and passions. Intrigue and infighting crept into the heavenly ranks, and the harmony that once filled the heavens was threatened by dark clouds. Nevertheless, the Olympians remained the undisputed rulers of the world. They emerged from the shadows of their ancestors and illuminated the universe with divine splendor. Their names were revered in the hearts of mortals, and temples to the gods stood tall. The sky, once the scene of rebellion and war, was now dominated by the radiant figures of the Olympians. The thunderbolt of Zeus illuminated the darkness, the trident of Poseidon ruled the waves, and the helmet of Hades veiled the paths of the underworld. Thus ended the epic chapter of the Titan Wars, and the story of the Olympians continued. The universe, guided by the threads of fate, experienced an era of divine peace, which, however, was always threatened by the shadows of prophecy.